What a week it was in the SEC, starting with an Auburn comeback for the ages, Brian.
Yeah, can we just re-rack that opening? Because all that euphoria you witnessed with Auburn from various plays over the past 5, 6, 7 years, that's what occurred the other night versus Oregon. Yes, they came back and won that game when it didn't look like they had any shot to do so early on, but the freshman quarterback made plays when he needed to, and that defense we were talking about prior to that matchup, they showed up and showed out, especially Big Derek Brown.
Yeah, but there were some lows as well. I look at Tennessee, the loss to Georgia State. When I look at how this game came about, the thing that sticks out to me the most is the rushing yards on both sides. 213 yards given up to a Sun Belt Conference team. No disrespect to the Sun Belt Conference, but you are Tennessee. You are an SEC East powerhouse?
No.
No. But only 92 yards on the ground for the Volunteers. That's a problem that's got to be fixed.
Generally, when you start with no disrespect.
There is no disrespect.
How about you, Coach?
Well, guys, what about LSU?
Yeah.
Now, they were favored, and if you just roll your hats out there against Georgia Southern, it may be a problem, but not with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. No disrespect, Joe Burrow, but look, I love your name, and I love how you're playing. You're 23 for 27. 278 yards. But here's what I like most, guys. I see a mature leader in Ed Orgeron. I like the way he's handling the sideline, substitution. They took care of business. You know he's recruiting, right? You know that. And then they hire a guy like Bill Johnson as his defensive line coach. They look good.
All right. As Kevin alluded to, the league featured some highs and some lows in week one. A true freshman shined on the national stage. Top teams took care of business. And Rocky Top hit rock bottom. It's last week in the SEC.
Are you kidding me? Oh, there goes Davis. Touchdown.
Oregon, Auburn. We don't got to wait anymore.
Herbert wants to throw. Pressure comes. Now we'll just go way downfield and touchdown. Coming back for the ball. A great play by Spencer Webb.
He just punked him.
He did. Hand it off. Felix coming left. Trying to go outside. Stutter step. Get it. Maybe. Yes. Touchdown.
21-6. And Oregon starts the second half in great shape.
Gatewood gets the snap. Rolls right. Dives, and he didn't get it. Oh, he did. Touchdown, Auburn.
21-20. Oh, my. We got a ball game. 4th and 3 inside of 2 minutes now. Game on the line here.
On the rollout. Looking downfield. Nix is going to run it. Did he get the first down? He's got it by the nose of the football. Nix throws to Williams. He's got it. Touchdown, Auburn. Touchdown, Auburn. With 9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Auburn wins!
2-1, rolls right, stands in, throws wide open, Forrestal, the tight end, touchdown, Alabama! Rolling right is Tua, throws, end zone, touchdown, and Alabama pads their lead.
James Cook gets a handoff, runs to the left side. He's got a block again from Warner. Cuts inside of the 10 and into the end zone. Touchdown, James Cook.
Burrow throws. Put a Tiger 6 on it. Burrow fires. Touchdown. 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 Tigers.
Over the middle, intercepted. Wolford again. The Heels on the doorstep of an enormous victory.
Chambers keeps it. Chambers finds a seam on the left side. It's wide open in Wyoming again. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Ellington on the keeper. 10-5 into the end zone. Touchdown. That's a Georgia State touchdown.
Georgia State, they dominated Tennessee, unfortunately.
That's your ball game.
You're going to give me a rating for a team's week one performance, then tell us something you're looking out for this week. BJ, let's start with Alabama.
Wow. I'm going to give Alabama on the strength of how Tua played in the defense. So much for missing some linebackers. Terrell Lewis, Shane Lee, Christian Harris. Those guys were outstanding. Who's this new one on the D-line? Prendarius Mathis. Got to love that name. That sounds like royalty. So I'm going to – they weren't able to run the rock as well as they would have liked. I'm going to give Alabama an 8. How about that? An 8 for their performance. So I want to see much more from the running game, and I'm sure that's something they're going to focus on this week.
8's pretty good, though, to open the season.
8's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I don't
You're not going to give him that?
Saban wouldn't have given him an 8.
No.
You gave him a 6. I'm sorry.
I was going to reveal it.
I got too
Okay,
excited.
go to my little 6.
I got too excited.
I'm going to give him a 6. Okay, I'm going to give him a 6 because I didn't like the way that they started the game. 0 points. 0 points in the first quarter, all because you're content to just know that you're superior in the air, and sooner or later it's going to work out because Tua is just that magnificent with Jerry Jeudy and that cast of characters you have at receiver.
Scholarships too.
No, I'm sorry. No. If you're Alabama, you're supposed to line up and establish the run, dominate the line of scrimmage, and make the job easy for Tua Tagovailoa. That's not what I saw. I saw a Sarkisian offense whose bread and butter is the short pass and crossing routes. This is not Alabama. That ain't going to win you games in November because when it gets cold outside, you got to run the ball to win in November.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Three-time SEC champion right there.
I know this. I know what I'm talking about.
Perfection.
Now, was the score 42-3?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to give them a 7.
Okay.
Because there's still plenty of room.
It's nice to have the score.
I got the score right there. But don't forget, that's a good win.
A little bit of a shot at you.
That's okay. We can disagree. It's all good.
That's a good win. There's nothing like winning, and you can go back in that film room and you can get better, and I think you're going to get better. But Tua Tagovailoa, guys, come on.
Coach, they had a couple of fourth down stops the defense did. We're concerned about the attrition in the linebacker room. That's the reason I give them an 8.
No one's saying that they were bad. No one's saying that they were bad. The offense leaves something to be desired.
I just say, I don't feel like your number matched up with your presentation. Like, you seemed really mad. You seemed like you were presenting a 3.
You should have given them a 3, yeah.
Hey, but that's, you know what? That's a good defensive line coach right there coming in on Sunday. That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
All right. Houston, how about Georgia? How would you rate their first week, and what are you looking for going forward?
I'm going to go with an 8.
At Vandy.
I'm going to go with 8 at Vandy. When you go on the road in the SEC, the first game of the year, you don't ever know what's going to happen. But Jake Fromm, again, I thought he did a good job. He's poised. He's confident. He does a good job of distributing the football. And don't forget now, DeAndre Swift took the ball about over 15 times, and he got up and down the field over 100 yards. I love the way they executed. They got a big offensive line. They need to get better, but that's a good win.
I won't reveal yours first this time.
I'm going to give them a 9.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, a 9. And listen to me explain this, okay?
Yeah.
Georgia is content to win the game with the least amount of fallout. What I mean by that is they're content to win the game the way they can win the game based upon the matchup. They're not trying to be flashy, okay? When you look at the quarterback, Jake Fromm, he was not flashy in this one at all. Had very minimal numbers, only threw for like 100 and something yards. But on the ground, they dominated the line of scrimmage. DeAndre Swift, that whole group, Brian Herring, that whole group did what they were supposed to do. They're not trying to throw picks. They're not trying to be flashy. They're establishing the run and letting their quarterback ease into things, relying on their defense. A 9. Yes.
I'm giving them a 7. You're right, 325 rushing, but as Coach Smart said, too many hits on his quarterback. If Vandy can get to your quarterback, just think what everyone else can do. These big boys, when you get Auburn on that schedule, and you got to take on Florida. A 7. But I love what that Georgia defense did. They had a stint where there was 4 straight 3-and-out, so the defense came to play.
That's right. You're the best. I love that you put the little line just to clarify.
Oh, yeah, because I can't read my writing sometimes. I got to be declarative with it, Coach.
Auburn with probably the most thrilling Week 1 victory. BJ, give us a rating for Auburn and something to keep an eye on in what could be a letdown game against Tulane, a team that was very impressive in Week 1.
I'm going to give Auburn a 6. Now, they pulled this one out. These are the kind you love to win. But Auburn should have played better earlier in this ballgame. They couldn't run the rock. And they actually had to implore Coach Malzahn to run the ball in the second half. So they started running Boobie Whitlow. He got wind, and who's going to be the backup to him when he can't go? They need to figure that out. And of course, you're playing a freshman quarterback. He had took his lumps in this ball game, but made plays when he needed to. But I'm going to give them a 6.
I'm with you, BJ. I also did a 6. I thought the first half Oregon outplayed them. Yep. And then in the second half, I thought J.B. Grimes' offensive line, I thought they got better with Boobie Whitlow, finally started running that ball and really got physical. But it's a good win, but they got to get better.
Yep. This ought to be interesting. Wait. This ought to be right. Yeah, go ahead.
Any win is a good win, okay?
Right.
So, but I'm giving them a 5.
Okay.
I'm giving them a 5 because Bo Nix was 13 of 31 for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. What is this offense supposed to look like? Who are you? You don't have Nick Marshall where you have this gimmicky offense and you have a quarterback who's committed to running the football. Control the line of scrimmage. Who are you? You should have lost this game. Okay, Oregon dropped the touchdown pass, and on the same drive, they missed the chip shot for a field goal. Oregon should have won this game. They're kicking themselves right now. If you're Bo Nix, you have a young quarterback, you put him in harm's way. He had to do too much to win this game. You better get that run shirt up.
They played by far the toughest opponent of anybody in the SEC in week 1, and you guys are giving them that low a numbers.
Right. We got high standards.
You won.
They beat the number 2 team, maybe the number 1 team in the Pac-12.
Well, they get better.
Standards.
This can improve.
Lastly,
This
Florida.
can improve.
They haven't played since week 0, the 24th of August. Kevin, how'd the Gators look to you in week 0? What are you watching for on Saturday?
I'm watching for them to play with more class. That's the one thing that I want them to do.
Too much celebrating.
Too much celebrating, too much showboating, not enough heart when things go wrong to rebound and know that you have confidence in your coaching, your technique, and the guy next to you, and you're going to lay it on the line. I saw them fall apart after bad things happened in that game. I'm giving them a 4.
Ooh.
Okay?
Wow.
Gators got to get better.
I'm going with a 2.
Whoa!
Because of this, because of just what you said. I thought it was a really sloppy game, the first game of the year, and the penalties. Now, again, we always going to say, hey, a win's a win, a great win. But no, let's clean some things up. From the quarterback to penalties, everybody.
I'm giving them a 5,
Well, good.
okay? I was a little higher on the performance, but you're right. Both teams combined for 23 penalties. But that defense, 10 sacks, 16 tackles for loss, that's worth a 5 by itself. Now, those 2 PIs late in the ball game, that may negate that 5 and turn it into a 3.
Minus 3.
I wish we had time for Kevin to clarify to the quarterback at Florida what he would like to see.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he needs to play like a
Better
leader.
read progression and just more poise at the
How about on the sideline? Not bugging for the
Quarterback's got to be different. Sorry.
They're supposed to be. You're right.